As all of you who play Black Ops 4 should know, Black Ops 4 has no campaign. However, Black Ops 4 has actually introduced a very intricate and deep backstory involving all of the specialist characters and, of course, the Specialist HQ. And as most of you watching this probably already know, that is one of the main things that we cover on this channel. We dive into the backstories of the maps and specialist characters, and you guys have made it very clear that you enjoy this series. Now today, we are covering a character who actually doesn't have that much information about him, as he's one of the new characters in Black Ops 4. And as you can obviously tell by the title of the video, that is Ajax. And as always, guys, with these specialist stories, if you enjoy them, if you like what you see, if you want to see more, the best way to show me is by hitting that like button. I have a lot of really big things planned. We've got 3 more specialists left after this character, and then after that, I've got some really cool things planned, including diving into some OG characters like Woods and Mason, and then some other theories that we haven't covered involving the specialist characters. So if you enjoy the story videos, you want to see more, the way to show me is by hitting that like button. I would love to see if we can get this video over 7,000 likes. So if you enjoy this series and want to see more videos like this one, simply hit that like button, and like I said, let's see if we can get this thing over 7,000 likes. Now, the one other thing I wanted to tell you guys about before we dive into Ajax's backstory is that I have created a Discord for you guys, my subscribers, my followers, and basically the point of it is to kind of build a community around the channel, around my Twitch. When I upload videos, when I'm streaming, when I'm doing open lobbies, it's all posted up there. So if you use Discord and you're at all interested in it, it'll be the first link down in the description. But without further ado, let me shut up and let's dive into Ajax's backstory. So as far as Ajax goes, his actual name is Kirk Rousseau. I think I'm saying that correctly. And he was born on March 12th, 2017. So at the time of Black Ops 4, that would make him about 28, 29. Now, as far as where is Ajax from, he is actually South African. And once we dive into his bio in a bit, we'll find out exactly where in South Africa he's from. Now, before we look at his cutscene, a little interesting piece of information with the Black Ops universe is that aside from Ajax, there has never been anything to happen in the Black Ops universe in South Africa. We've had things happen in Angola, which is in Northern Africa, but never anything in South Africa until Ajax's storyline. So here's his cutscene. Afterwards, I'll give you a little bit of a breakdown and explain what's actually going on here.
For the people! Return to your homes. Drop your weapons and get on the ground. We will open fire! Hey! Stop! You don't have to... How the fuck did you do that? Just take this shit! You don't have to do that! Are you with us or him? Fuck you! Are you with him? I'm not with you. Piece of shit, get rocked with them.
So an interesting cutscene, but one that doesn't really make sense without a little bit more of an explanation. So as far as what is going on here, in the years 2020 to 2040, South Africa was in a constant state of disarray. Now, as far as where this cutscene takes place, it is just outside of Johannesburg, where Ajax grew up. And between the years 2020 and 2040, there were constantly riots going on throughout South Africa. Reason being, at this time, the farmland and agricultural business that this area was set on had began to crumble for several reasons. First of all, water was scarce, which made farming very difficult, but also the government began to seize farms from the owners. This is actually a problem that is going on in real life as of right now in South Africa. So interesting to see Treyarch actually put it into the game. So that is why this riot is going on in this cutscene. Now you may be wondering why Ajax is one of the people rioting and not one of the people defending the town. As it turns out, Ajax was actually a gang leader during this time. He was basically running a militia to go against the government to riot and fight for people's rights, which is interesting because you wouldn't think one of the specialist characters was actually a gang leader. The interesting thing though is that Ajax ran his gang with very high morals. They would try not to kill or injure any of the opposing government or officers that they rioted against. Now, running this militia was going well until this guy came along. As you can see, this guy has a very different morality than Ajax, as he just starts killing soldiers willy-nilly. Now, the interesting thing about this is we actually know this character's name. His name is Van Gran. And essentially, Van Gran took over Ajax's militia by ruling it with an iron fist, being more aggressive, killing people if they went against him, and all in all, just being a pretty bad dude. Now, the interesting part about this, the fact that this is a named character named Van Gran, kind of hints at the fact that this was supposed to be part of a larger campaign. A campaign that, of course, as we know, doesn't exist in Black Ops 4. We can determine this simply because why would they name this random character, create lore behind them, unless it was supposed to be an antagonist in an actual campaign? So just an interesting fact that I thought I would point out there. Now, throughout the rest of this cutscene, you can kind of see why Ajax decides to go with the uniform that he goes with. You can see him pick up the helmet and eye out the riot shield that we see several times throughout this cutscene, hence why he uses that in multiplayer. Now, you may be wondering, how does Ajax go from warlord to specialist character in Black Ops 4, which is an interesting question. So basically, after the events of this cutscene, after Van Gran takes over, Ajax decides to go and once again create another militia, specifically a militia designed to look after the needs of the people of South Africa. And how he does this is he creates an army, and to fund the army, he essentially sells their services to the highest bidder. Basically, he creates guns for hire. And it turns out the people who actually need their service is the Winslow Accord, which is of course who Ruin, Outrider, Battery, and most of the specialist characters actually work for in Black Ops 4. And the reason why we know this is because in Ajax's comic that is released by Treyarch, we find out that Donnie Walsh, aka Ruin, is working with Ajax on a mission as guns for hire. And at one point in the comic, Ruin actually asks Ajax to come work with him more, specifically for the Winslow Accord, but he turns it down because he is focused on helping the people of South Africa, until Savannah comes along and offers Ajax a buttload of money for his services, which of course can then go ahead and help the people of South Africa. That is why Ajax decides to go and work for Savannah, and in turn be one of the specialist characters. And that's kind of the backstory of Ajax. However, there is one theory that I would like to dive into, and it's the fact that Ajax is not in Black Ops 3, but he is in Black Ops 4. On top of that, he is not the oldest specialist out of the ones in Black Ops 3. In fact, he's kind of like right in the middle. So the big question is, why is he not in Black Ops 3? Especially when we look at the final cutscene in Black Ops 4 and see that he is with the rest of the specialist characters. Now, there is one other character that we see in Black Ops 4 in this cutscene that is not in Black Ops 3, and that is Recon. And we discussed that when we did his specialist story, that it might be possible that Recon actually dies shortly after the events of Black Ops 4 based on what we see. However, Ajax, we don't really have any evidence like that. So really, there is two possible options. One option is that Ajax does die before the events of Black Ops 3. The other option is that after working for Savannah, he no longer gets offered a reason to stay and work for the specialist characters, and he decides to once again go back to South Africa and help the people there. Now, the one other thing I wanted to look at is Van Gran. Remember the antagonist, the bad guy that takes over Ajax's militia? Yeah, him. The thing with him is that we don't really hear much else about this character other than in Ajax's comic. In his comic, we find out that Ajax is planning on going to kill him, hunting him down, and destroying him. So it's possible that Ajax actually loses, does not kill Van Gran, dies, and that is why he is not in Black Ops 3 as well. But I'm betting that if there was a campaign in Black Ops 4, Ajax's campaign mission would be going after Van Gran and trying to kill him. And who knows, if the campaign was there, maybe Ajax would actually die in it. but that's unclear. That's just a theory. No one actually can prove that. It's just an idea. So feel free to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Like I mentioned, Ajax is one of the characters in the game that we get the smallest amount of information about, but we were able to piece together a pretty decent story revolving around him. But like I said, let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. Like I said, it'd be awesome if we could get this video over 7,000 likes. On top of that, if you like what you see here and want to stay up to date on all my videos, the best way to do so is make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you have notifications turned on. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.